Dear students, Namaste, good morning to you all, and also welcome to another session of our mathematics class. In the previous session, we have discussed the basic concepts of coordinate geometry. Hope you have revised well. And in today's session, we shall discuss the exercise problems from the chapter coordinate geometry. Let's move on to the topic. Let's discuss the first question of exercise 3.1. The question is, how will you describe the position of a table lamp on your study table to another person? Here you are asked to describe the position of the table lamp which is on top of the table. Means here you are asked to describe the position of an object in a plane. Here the object is your table lamp and the plane is top of your study table. We have already learned that to describe an object in a plane we need two parameters. One is the vertical distance, another one is the horizontal distance. So if these two distances if we know, we will be able to describe easily the position of an object in a plane. Let's visualize the question. There is a study table and a table lamp is on top of the table. And here I have marked both the distances, that is the vertical distance and the horizontal distance. So here you can take any two measurements as you wish. Here I am taking 15 centimeter, that is the horizontal distance, and another one is 25 centimeter, that is the vertical distance. So these two perpendicular distances if you know, we will be able to describe exactly the position of this table lamp. Instead of this 15 and 25, you can use some other values also, like 1 feet, 2 feet, any measurement you can use. It's not a problem. Here, let's assume the distance of the lamp from the shorter edge is 15 centimeter, that is this one. And another one is distance of the lamp from the longer edge is 25 centimeter. That too we have marked here. Therefore, we can conclude that the position of the lamp on the table can be described in two ways depending on the order of the axis as 15-25 or 25-15. So these are the positions. 15-25 we can represent, or 25-15 also you can use to describe the position. For example, if you take 15 first, means this axis if you take, this is the horizontal axis. If you take horizontal axis first, then we can write 15 and 25. Vertical axis you can take second, 25. Then if you want again vertical axis, if you want to take first, then 25, 15. Both the way of representations are correct. Let's discuss question number 2. The question is, a city has two main roads which cross each other at the center of the city. These two roads are along the north-south direction and east-west direction. All the other streets of the city run parallel to these roads and are 200 meters apart. There are 5 streets in each direction. Using 1 centimeter equal to 200 meters, draw a model of the city on your notebook. Represent the roads or streets by single lines. There are many cross streets in your model. A particular cross street is made by 2 streets, one running in the north-south direction and another one is east-west direction. Each cross street is referred to in the following manner. If the second street running in the north-south direction and fifth in the east-west direction meet at some crossing, then we call this cross street 2-5. Using this convention, find how many cross streets can be referred to as 4-3. Second question, how many cross streets can be referred to as 3-4. Here we are asked to draw a street plan, and in the first part of the question it is mentioning a city has two main roads. These two roads are along the north-south direction and east-west direction. So let's draw these two roads first. One is in the north-south direction, another one is in the east-west direction. And the scale is given to you 1 centimeter equal to 200 meter. Means the distance between the two roads. Here they are mentioning 5 street roads in each direction, and there is a property of these roads, that is they are running parallel to this north-south and east-west. So the distance between the two roads is 1 centimeter equal to 200 meter, means the distance between these two roads mentioned here is 200 meter. But when you draw it on a piece of paper, you can use it 1 centimeter to represent 200 meter, because the scale is given to you here is 1 centimeter is 200 meter. So there are 5 streets in each direction. So let's draw these 5 streets which are parallel to the first one, that is north-south road. So let's mark it as street 1, street 2, street 3, street 4 and street 5. And the another set is parallel to east-west direction. Again 5 more roads are there. So let's draw it, this set of roads which are parallel to east-west, and again let's label it as street 1, street 2, street 3, street 4 and street 5. And there is one example is given to you. If the second street running in the north-south direction, so north-south direction is this one and the second street is here, second street running in the north-south direction, and the fifth in the east-west direction, fifth one is here, east-west direction, fifth one is this one. So they meet where referred, fifth in the east-west direction meet at some crossing, somewhere it is meeting, then we call this cross street or this crossing as 2-5. Here street number 2 road is this one and street number 5 road is this one. So they are meeting at a particular point, that is this one. So this we can read as 2-5, or simply in coordinate geometry we can read as ordered pair 2-5. Here by using this convention we are asked to find out how many cross streets can be referred to as 4-3. 4-3 we have to first locate the position of 4-3, means street number 4 in the north-south and street number 3 in the east-west. They are meeting at this point, only one point, that is 4-3. Here there is only one cross street, that is the answer of the first part. First part is how many cross streets can be referred. Here after drawing the figure, after drawing the plan, we have concluded that there is only one point, which is the crossing point of street 4 in the north-south direction and street 3 in the east-west direction. Next one, how many cross streets can be referred to as 3-4. 3 is in north-south direction. North-south direction is this one, street number 3, and 4 that is in east-west direction. Fourth one is this one. So the crossing point of these two is marked here, that is 3-4. So here also we get only one crossing point. So we can conclude as there is only one cross street which can be referred as 3-4. So as a part of the answers, there are two questions are given to you. First one, how many cross streets can be referred to as 4-3. Here also answer is only one cross road. And the second question also asks how many cross streets can be referred to as 3-4. Here also answer is only one cross street. Next we shall discuss exercise 3.2. First question. The question is, what is the name of horizontal and the vertical lines drawn to determine the position of any point in the Cartesian plane? We have already learned that to determine the position of an object in a plane, we need two parameters. One is the horizontal distance and the vertical distance. Here in Cartesian plane, we have already discussed that we represent the points in two axes. One is the horizontal axis, that is called the x-axis. Another one is the vertical line or the vertical axis, that is the y-axis. So here the first question is asked, what is the name of the horizontal and the vertical lines? So we know that one is x-axis, another one is the y-axis. So the answers we will write x-axis and y-axis. The next one is, what is the name of each part of the plane formed by these two lines? We have already discussed this one in the coordinate plane. So here, whenever these two axes, that is x-axis and y-axis, comes into the plane is divided into four portions and each one is called the quadrants. This is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and the fourth quadrant. Here the question is asked, what is the name of each part of the plane formed by these two lines? So the name of each part is quadrant. Third one, write the name of the point where these two lines intersect. This also we have learned that x-axis and y-axis means a horizontal line and the vertical line is intersecting at a particular point. That point is called the origin, represented by capital O. So the answer is origin, representation capital O. Next we shall discuss question number 2. The question is, see the figure and write the following. So there is a figure which is given to you. First one is the coordinates of B. The point B is here. The coordinates means ordered pair we have to write. First one is the x value and the second one is the y value. So from B you have to move to first x-axis. It is meeting at x-axis -5, and you have to go to the y-axis. It is meeting at y-axis 2. So the point is first x value, that is -5, second y value, that is 2. So the point is -5, 2. Second question, the coordinates of C. The point C is here. First you have to move to x-axis. So x-axis it is 5, it is meeting, and when you come to y-axis it is meeting at -5. So when you write it in ordered pair, first x value, that is 5, second y value, that is -5. Next question, the point identified by the coordinates -3, -5. X value -3, y value -5. X value -3 is here. X value -3 is here, and we have to come down to -5. Coming down to -5 means this one. So we are reaching to the point E. So the point is here E. Next question, the point identified by the coordinates 2, -4. X value here is 2, y value is -4. X value 2, x-axis 2 is here. You have to go down to get -4. When we are moving down, -4, y value -4 is this one, and the point marked here is G. So the answer is G. Next question, the abscissa of the point D. We have already learned abscissa means x value. So we have to go to the point D and we have to find its x value. So point D here is this one, and we have to come down to x-axis. The x value is 6. So the abscissa of the point D is 6. Then next question, the ordinate of the point H. We have already learned that ordinate means y coordinate of a point. So we have to go for H, and we have to move to y axis, that is it is meeting at -3. So the ordinate of the point H is -3. Next is the coordinates of the point L. So here we have to go for L, and we have to find out the coordinates. Here the L point is marked here on the y-axis top, that is at 5. So here y value is 5 and x value, when you come down, x value is 0. So the answer or the coordinates of the point L is 0, 5. First value is x value here is 0, and second value is the y value, so y value is 5. Next is the coordinates of the point M. So M is here, and first one is the x value. X-axis value is -3 and y-axis value is 0. Y-axis, the point M is marked here. When you move to y-axis it meets at 0. So the point is -3, 0. X-axis value is -3 and y-axis value is 0. Move on to exercise 3.3. First question. In which quadrant or on which axis do each of the points -2, 4, 3, -1, -1, 0, 1, 2 and -3, -5 lie? Verify your answer by locating them on the Cartesian plane. Means here there are some points given to you, -2, 4, 3, -1, -1, 0, 1, 2 and -3, -5. You have to find out in which quadrant these points lie or which axis this point lies, and verify your answer by locating them on the Cartesian plane. Means you have to plot these points on a graph sheet. Then by seeing that graph sheet answers, we have to find out in which quadrant these points lie. After plotting these points on the graph only, we have to find the answer. So let's take a graph sheet and let's label the x and y axis, and first we will plot -2, 4. X value -2, y value 4. So x axis we have to come to -2 and we have to move up to get y value 4. So this is the point -2, 4. And second, 3 minus 1. X value 3, y value -1. X axis 3. To get -1 we have to come down. So this is the point, that is 3 minus 1. Next one is -1, 0. X value is -1, y value 0. Means only x axis we have to take -1. X axis -1 is this point and y value is 0 here. So the point -1, 0 is located. Next is 1, 2. X value 1, y value 2. X axis 1, y value 2. That is here. So that we have marked 1, 2. Finally, -3, -5. Means x value -3, y value -5. X axis -3 is this one and y value, to get -5 we have to go down. So the value is, the point is plotted here, -3, -5. Next we shall find out in which quadrant these points lies. So first one is -2, 4. So -2, 4 we have marked here. Whenever this x axis and y axis comes into the plane, it is divided into 4 quadrants. This is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. So -2, 4. -2, 4 is in second quadrant. So we will write the answer, point -2, 4 lie in second quadrant. Next is 3 minus 1. So 3 minus 1 here, this is the fourth quadrant. So the answer is point 3 minus 1 lie in fourth quadrant. Next point is -1, 0. -1, 0 is here. It is not in any quadrant. It is on x axis. The point lies on x axis. So we will write point -1, 0 lie on the negative side of x axis, or simply x axis writing also no problem. More specifically if you write, it is negative x axis. Next one is 1, 2. Point 1, 2. Point 1, 2 is here. This is in first quadrant. So answer we will write point 1, 2 lie in first quadrant. And last one, -3, -5. -3, -5 is this one. This is our third quadrant. First, second, third, fourth. So this is our third quadrant, -3, -5. So the answer we will write point -3, -5 lie in third quadrant. Hope it is clear. Move on to question number 2. The question is, plot the points x, y given in the following table on the plane, choosing the suitable units of distance on the axis. There is a table given to you. X values are -2, -1, 0, 1, 3. Y values are 8, 7, -1.25, 3, -1. So these points you have to plot it in a graph sheet. So here x value -2, y value 8. So you will take the point as -2, 8. Second one is you will take the point as -1, 7. Next one 0, -1.25. Next one 1, 3, and next one 3, -1. X value is 3, y value is -1. So you will take a graph sheet and you will mark x and y axis and plot the positive values, negative values, and then you have to come to this table and you have to take each point, plot it on the graph sheet. So this question you will do it as homework. My dear students, today we have discussed all the questions from the chapter Coordinate Geometry. Hope it is clear for you all. If you have any doubt, please note it and keep. We will discuss it during the online session. Thank you for watching.